Hello world and a very warm welcome to the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Nordic Championships coming live to you from Stenkullen in Sweden. And I'm so ready to watch some fantastic athletes compete and of course to listen to the miraculous voice of the one and only Troy Mannering, our commentator.
The miraculous voice.
Yeah, you have a miraculous voice. I heard you sing.
That's yeah, my singing. That's something that's going to break glass more than anything else. It'll break your will in a situation where I'm interrogating you. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting day today. We got some of the best athletes from the Nordics up there, and yeah, I mean our list is short, but our list is quality. So yeah, let's move on.
Absolutely. Of course, we've got our field reporters on site, and that is Pia and Hans Ove, and hopefully they can hear and see us now. I think they can. How are you doing, guys? Well, we can see him. I'm not sure if we can hear him yet. What do you say, Troy? I heard some emotions. I'm sure they're getting very excited.
I think they're getting excited. It looks a bit chilly there. This is the first time I can looks a bit cold over there. So
well,
yeah,
you're still wearing your t-shirt.
We got summer weather where we are, unfortunately. But yeah.
Let's talk about the competitors. We only have 6 athletes competing today due to COVID regulations. So many of the Norwegian athletes were not allowed to go to Sweden, but still, like you said, a very fine quality field of athletes, and I think this is going to be quite some competition coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to meet them now, and here's a guy whose name we're probably going to murder all the way along today. Ole Magnus Stjulberget.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
Berget. My apologies for killing that one right off the bat.
Same here.
7th place at the Nordic Championship in 2018. His best results are from 2019, and he tops out at a 6th place there at the Helsingborg Cup and the Trollhättan Cup. So, you know, he's got a bit of climbing to do to get himself up there into the top spots. But, you know, he's here for a reason.
What about that name? Yeah,
we have one of the best names. What in the Samuel hell is going on here? Samuel Hell. He's a big boy, winner of the Nordic Rookie Champs in 2015. As you see there, 11th place at the Nordic Championships in 2019. So going from the rookies into the pros, not an easy process for him, but he's moving his way up. And then we have Pontus Sky, a big man here as well. 193 centimeters tall, 115 kilograms, 29 years old. He's had 10 appearances at Nordic Championships there. And he is the Nordic champion from 2018. And I should also mention he was 9th at the Worlds in 2018 when we had the event there in Liverpool in Great Britain.
Oh, Kalle coming up. Kalle Svadling, that's another big man.
Kalle Svadling is another big man, 185 centimeters tall, 29 years old, 112 kilograms. 4th at the Four Nations Cup in 2020 when we had it here. And he's a fit guy. He actually likes CrossFit in his off time.
Well, so, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you know, staying fit with CrossFit is one of probably the best ways for these athletes to really maintain their fitness level and their power for these events. And we'll talk about fitness and power as the events go on, and you'll see exactly why they really need it. Now, here's a guy that falls outside of the framework of your typical looking timber sports athlete. He's pretty svelte at 86 kilograms, 178 centimeters tall. He's not a massive guy, but he has some power behind his hits.
Oh, yes.
He's the rookie world champ from 2017. He's the Four Nations Cup winner from 2020. He's had 3 appearances at the Nordic Championship. So I'm going to say probably Ferry Svan is the guy everybody's going to be keeping a close eye on today as a possible to win this one and perhaps get a chance at the individual world titles. And then, of course, we have Emil Hansson, 6 Nations Rookie Cup. He was 2nd place there. He was 3rd at the Rookie Worlds in Sweden not a few years ago. So he's got a bit of pedigree as well because his dad is our sideline reporter with Pia today.
And this man is only 20 years old.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
20 years old, so he's a young guy with a lot of pedigree and some skill to pay the bills, for sure.
And of course, our athletes have to compete in 3 rounds and 6 different disciplines. And how the competition format works, well, we show you right now.
The STIHL TIMBERSPORTS individual competition. In the first round, all athletes compete in 3 disciplines: the underhand chop, the stock saw, and the standing block chop. The times achieved will be converted into points upon completion of each discipline. In round 1, a difference of 1 point applies in each discipline, thus the fastest athlete received 12 points and the slowest only 1 point. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. At the end of the first round, the athletes with the lowest scores are eliminated. Only 8 athletes make it to the second round. In this second round, the remaining athletes compete in the single buck and the springboard for increased scores. With 2 points difference between placings, the fastest athlete now receives 16 points and the slowest receives 2. The 2 athletes with the lowest total points are eliminated at the end of round 2. Only the top 6 reach the third round. In the third round, anything is still possible in the hot saw, as an increased score interval of 3 points applies in this final round. The fastest athlete can score up to 18 points at the hot saw, the slowest only 3 points. The athlete who manages to achieve the highest total score across all 3 rounds is the new champion.
Six athletes competing, 3 rounds of competition. What does that mean for today?
It means we're not going to have anybody falling out of the competition from the beginning of the competition to the very end. So you're going to see these 6 athletes throughout the entire competition because we only have the 6 and not 12.
And I love that. I think
it's awesome. It's going to make it really exciting. It's going to go by like this. So don't blink, folks, because if you do, you're going to miss something important out there. It's going to be good, though.
And there's another thing you're not meant to miss, and that is everything you need to know about the discipline underhand chop that's coming up right now.
The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand-sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom-built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32 centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
So it's time to send the gladiators on.
Ja, vi väntar på de 2 första atleterna som ska upp. Det är alltså Ole Magnus Sydjöberg från Norge och Samuel Hell som ska köra första rundan. Och Ole Magnus har ett personbästa på 29.02 och Samuel har ett på 52.55, så att vi får se om Samuel kan spira upp lite och hänga med Ole Magnus här. Ja. Det blir lite så här nu, för nu väntar vi på att det ska funka det tekniska. Så att är det någon som har en fråga får ni väl räcka upp handen så ska jag se om jag kan svara på den. Ja. Nu ska vi se. Nu börjar hända saker. Först upp på scen, Samuel Hell. Jaha, nu är det en presentation tydligen. Ja, det är tur man har koll. Samuel Hell, Emil Hansson, Kalle Svadling, Ole Magnus, Pontus Skye och Ferry Svan. Ja. 6 taggade killar. Det är inga flin här eller? Här är det hopbytningar. Å1 kommer från Ferry. Ja. Okej. En big applåd för grabbarna. Nu börjar allvaret. Ja. Jag har väl varit lite, jag har inte skött mitt jobb. Jag tänkte jag kan väl, medan man kommer upp nu och gör sig klara, så kan jag introducera mitt damsällskap som är på höger sida här. Hon förstår svenska, tror jag. I'm introducing you, Pia. You can say, just short, tell who you are and what you do.
I'm Pia. I'm the field reporter at Timbersports, at STIHL TIMBERSPORTS, and I'm here for the live stream. If you want to rewatch it, you can on YouTube. And yeah, we are a team today, right, Hans?
Yep, we're a team. That's good. Here we go.
Effort, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jajamän. Ole Magnus jobbar på bra. Samuel jobbar bra. Ole Magnus vänder. Båda har vänt. Ole Magnus en aningen före den. Okej, då gäller det att ha gjort jobbet på första sidan nu. Vi hoppas det. Väldigt, väldigt jämnt. Ole Magnus går för driven. Där är Ole Magnus slag. Samuel jobbar på. Ja. Här kommer Samuel. Sista driven. Där är Samuel klar.
Gentlemen, both Katarlu.
Hundratals gånger. De sitter och jobbar. Där slutade kompiskapet, såg ni?
Effort, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Här går undan. Också klar. Kalle klar. Oj, 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 vad jämnt. Oj, oj, oj. Ja. Och vi ser. Pontus går på driven, Kalle går på driven. Där Pontus ska, där är Kalle klar. Ja, ja, ja. Ja.
Gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Okej. Sista hitet. De två ungtupparna tänkte jag säga. Nu ska vi se. Ja. Nästa hit. Emil Hansson mot Harry Svan. Ja. Ja, jag ser två killar här som har gått in i sin bubbla. De står bakom här. Nu vart jag lite nervös. Ja. Emil Hansson, Harry Svan.
Effort, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okej. Ja, vi får se om det är godkänt.
Gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Okej. Ja. Frågan är vem vi ska ta här. Om det är någon som vill prata med mig. Är det någon som vill prata med mig? Aha. Okej, det är som vanligt. Det är som vanligt.
Didn't expect this man to be on top of the list after the first discipline.
Well, yeah, it is a bit surprising. He's quite young and you know, does have the pedigree, but that was a great underhand chop, absolutely.
Oh, and talking about underhand chop, so this is the kind of discipline that you can kind of start off with STIHL Timbersports, you know,
yes.
because there's some possibilities to try this out without going into too much of problems that are caused and having to have the equipment and trying to find out how you can try. And I think there is possibilities.
Yeah, there's a ton of possibilities, and you know, it definitely is an opportunity for anybody who wants to get into timber sports or just try it out for themselves. That's the starting point. There's the hand chop.
And if you go to the national pages of STIHL Timbersports, you'll find out where there are training camps where you can do this, and maybe, you know, you can get a kind of feeling for the atmosphere that STIHL Timbersports can create. And trust me, as soon as the crowd is back, you're going to have goosebumps all over your body because it feels like the World Championships.
It comes down to Mitch Argent and Shane Jordan
Battling hard on the standing block. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Australia or New Zealand? Oh my God, how close is this? And it's Australia!
The atmosphere last night and the team's relay was unreal.
That is their title of Team World Champion 2 years in a row.
Oh, definitely. It'd be the noisiest crowd I've competed against.
Shane Jordan's already over there.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of getting goosebumps thinking about it right now.
The crowds here, they were just erupting.
You feel the energy of the crowd.
My goodness, what a great comeback from Belgium with a time of 1.
The crowd was absolutely electric.
And it was so much noise and support.
Ja, doch, das pusht schon rum und mein Fanclub ist auch da.
Very passionate about their country and, yeah, the competitors.
Yeah, it feels super.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
It's pretty awesome to compete in front of a crowd like this.
But he's not giving up. He's looking good.
Like such an adrenaline rush. It's an amazing feeling.
They make a lot of noise, and that's good for our spirit.
Is it going to be the Czech Republic? And the crowd goes bananas.
It's absolutely extrem hier. Man hört's.
It's time to start the source. All you need to know about the discipline stock, so coming up right now.
The STIHL MS661CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timbersports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional steel technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
So let's take a look at the start list.
I stocksaw. Och det är Pontus Skye som har det på 9.14. Alltså ett världsrekord. Sverige har ett världsrekord i den här grenen. Det är rätt häftigt.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saw. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oj, 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 oj. Var jag lite bestyr i korken nu? Ja, det där gick fort. Oj, oj, oj.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, stand 2, unfortunately, DQ. Stand 1, a new world record stock saw for Norway. Good cut.
Oh, ett nytt världsrekord. Ja, ja, ja. Magnus! Världsrekord! Fantastiskt! Ja, det känns bra. Okej. Går det att sätta ett världsrekord? Kanske det går att sätta ett till. Nästa hit. Hallå, ja. Kalle Swadling, Perry Swan.
Okay. Warm up your saw. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oj, 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 oj. Vilka tider. Vilka tider. Ja.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Ja. Det ser ut som att det sitter två bra poppelblock 40 centimeter i. De sågar fort allihop. Personbästa på båda. Nu får ni inte gå. Snabb kommentar. Det ser ut som att det går rätt så fort nu.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saw. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ja. Pontus före. Emil fick skära en tredje skiva. Uppkattet såg ut att vara att han skar ur. Men det är som sagt små marginaler.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Okej. Ja. Här kommer Pontus. Ja, jag tar det Emil. Jag lånar dig. Okej Emil.
Bigot.
So it's only 1 point separating the top four, and Pia is already standing with Ferry Svan. Hopefully we'll get the line going now. Pia, Ferry, can you hear us? Can you see us?
I can hear you, we can see you, and at this point, a heartfelt welcome from my side as well in the beautiful country of Sweden at the Nordic Pro Championship 2021. So this location is amazing. It hypes me up very much, and it hypes me up to stand next to Ferry Svan. Hello. How are you? Like, you completed underhand job and stock saw. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good, but I know I have to do better, and I can do better, so I will focus on that.
Okay. And what expectations do you have for today? Because you've been national champion in 2019. You've been first at the Four Nations Cup and fifth at the European Nations Pro Cup this year. So they must be really high. What are they?
I'm here to defend my title, absolutely, and that's my goal, and I have to do that.
I keep my fingers crossed for you, and thank you for the interview. Now back to Munich.
Thank you very much, guys. I kind of love the way Ferry's always cool.
Yeah,
here to defend my title. You know, that's it.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm going to take care of business. No worries.
I'm not happy with everything so far, but you know, and that's what I love about.
I think if he got a world record, he might crack a little bit more of a smile, but not much, you know.
Why should he?
Yeah. He's a mellow dude.
Absolutely. And if you want to see more of STIHL Timbersports competitions, why not take a look at Amazon Prime? We've got some amazing competitions on there, and they're always very enjoyable to watch.
Oh my God, how close is this? It's one of the closest heats we've had all day long, and it's Australia!
When the crowd start, you know, erupting, screaming, shouting, it just really does give you goosebumps.
It's pretty awesome to compete in front of a crowd like this.
I've been working my ass off the last 5 years to get to this point.
Is it going to be the checker building? Yes, it is! And the crowd goes bananas! He moves, then goes down. He's looking good!
It might make some people nervous. It doesn't make me nervous. It makes me ready to go.
To come here to the World Championships is one of my dreams. It has been ever since as a kid.
It doesn't make me nervous. It makes me ready to go. Yeah, I really love that.
Yeah, great line.
Oh, yeah.
Great line.
And of course, one of the disciplines, the standing block chop, always good for some drama. And all you need to know about the standing block chop, that's coming up right now.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
So let's take a look at the...
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Båda vänder. Ole Magnus börjar driva. Ett till. Där. Samuel jobbar på. Samuel har lite kvar. Nu kommer det. Där kom Samuel.
Gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Jajamän. Ja, personligt från Ole Magnus. Du får gå ner, jag tar Samuel. Okej Samuel, snabb intervju i regnet. Kändes det där? Ja, det höll bra. Nordic på 1762. Ja, 2 snabba killar. Nej, han kom i badtofflorna ändå. Ja, det var blött i gräset, okej. Det var blött i gräset på väg upp. Ja. Så ni ser, det finns mycket bra knep som inte ska bli halt. Man vill ju inte halka i kull.
Okay. Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oj, 1897. Ja. Kalle verkar som han tittar på sin yxa. Ja. Någonting hände med Kalles yxa, verkar det som.
Gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Okej. Ja. Pontus. Pontus är on fire idag, tror jag. Jäklar. Ja, du får stå vad du vill, bara att du pratar. Du får förstå vad du säger.
Absolutely, and this is getting to be a very exciting competition, not only with the Swedish athletes, but also with Ole Magnus. And of course, we're still very sorry that not more of the Norwegian athletes were able to travel, but of course, with COVID restrictions, things are still not as they used to be, and I think you need a lot of tolerance to be able to get through these times. STIHL Timbersports athletes are definitely very tolerant. Take a look at this.
We are Timbersports.
United by passion for the sport.
And competition.
We chop down racism.
And say yes to tolerance.
Yes to tolerance.
Say ja till tolerans.
Yes to tolerance.
Yes to tolerance.
是的，理解宽容。
Powiedz tak tolerancji.
Ja zu Toleranz.
We are Timbersports.
Här också, för att de har speciella skor när de hugger och vill inte att det ska bli blött under. En reservyxa alltid med. Det är ju träskaft, kan gå av. Då behöver man en reserv. De måttar ut var de ska stå på andra sidan. Så att man vet. Here we go.
Okay. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Är det klar? Emil klar. Oj, 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 oj. Vilka tider. Ja. Här går det undan. Färre strax före Emil. 1-2 hugg. Ja. Otroligt hög nivå idag på tävlingen.
So gentlemen, both shots are good.
Ja, bästa kompisar. Glöm inte skorna nu, Ferry. Ja. Vi tar någon på.
Well, actually, that is absolutely fantastic. And Ole Magnus being the only Norwegian, of course, we want to know how he feels. And
how he says his last name.
Yes, please. Tell us how the last name is properly pronounced. That'd be very interesting. Pia and, of course, her guests coming up right now.
Yes, thank you, Marcus. I will ask how Ole, how is your last name pronounced properly? Because they don't know how to do it. Please answer this question first of all.
Okay, Siljeberget.
Did you get that? I hope you get it.
Wow.
Anyway, you've just achieved a world record in stock saw. Did you expect that?
No, not at all. But I felt saw was running smooth and just felt good.
Yeah, but you've had a national record in stock saw, and I wanted to ask you if you think it's possible. Now it is possible. What is your strategy for the rest of the competition? What are you planning?
Just keep the head calm and try to just think at the right things and just hold out.
I'm sure you will succeed, and I'm sure you are presenting Norwegian perfectly. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, and good luck. Back to you, Marcus and Troy.
Ole Magnus Sulberget.
Sulberget.
Yes, the world champion. Talking to Pia. What a nice guy. Very calm, very focused.
You mean the world record holder?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
We definitely.
We have a new world champion before the World Championships.
Yep.
Sorry, Wolf under the bus.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's take a look at the schedule of upcoming events.
Yes, please.
Because I mean, the individual world championships that we more or less talked about just a moment ago will be up on the 2nd of October. That's going to be absolutely amazing. Make sure not to miss out.
Looking forward to that one.
Oh yeah, British Pro Championship coming up, Swiss Championship, and of course the World Trophy European Qualifier. You can watch all that live, so make sure not to miss out on the live streams. And of course, Amazon Prime will cover a lot of those events. Make sure to be part of that.
Get your popcorn ready for the Prime viewing, because that's where it's at.
Yes, and of course, it's all about history, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the future, but very much
The
about it
original
is
extreme sport.
Yep, that's who we are. And if you want to know more about the original extreme sports, well, you should definitely watch what's coming up now.
Expert woodsman who can cut down a tree more easily than most people can chop one up. When it really comes to tackling large lumps, you can't beat the men of the forestry companies.
An axeman's gathering. As Tom is losing the loss and gets it.
The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand-sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into two types, cutters and rakers, just like on the old-school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around 1,500 euros. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
Gör sågen som möjligt. Kalle jobbar på bra. Samuel lika så. Kalle klar. Samuel. Liten hang up. Kommer Samuel. Och Samuel igenom. Där kommer Samuel igen. Ja.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Ja, det är bra. Mycket bra. Ja, du hade några hang-ups. Kändes det där?
Ja, det var något bättre.
Andra hitet. Ole Magnus mot Emil Hansson. Ole Magnus har Norges lagkapten med sig upp. Ole Ivar Lirhagen som hjälpare. Och Emil har sin träningskompis från Orsa med sig. Edvin Karlsson. Ja. Startspår. Som sagt, här gäller det att låta sågen göra jobbet. Lugnt och fint. Inte ha för bråttom, slänga på kroppen. Vill man lite för mycket är det väldigt lätt att sågen fastnar. Dra bakåt, låta armarna gå bak, skjuta fram armar, sen komma med kroppen. Det är liksom ett hett tips. Slänger man på kroppen för tidigt så får man ofta hänga.
Okay. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ja, så där tajt är det. Vi pratar just om att få någon hang-up, alltså få sågen att fastna. Och då går sekunderna. Tyvärr är det så. Men det hör till gamet. Inte vara för ivrig. Jag vet att Emil är inte nöjd med det där, det kan jag säga.
Ladies and gentlemen, both cuts were good.
Ja. Vi ska se. Bra jobbat Ole Magnus. Jag tar den här. Jag ska prata med honom. Ja. Har vi Pontus Skye mot Ferry Svan. Ferry är fruktansvärt snabb på det här, men Pontus har också en bra såg. Så att, ja, och Pontus efter den här standingen, han har fått fart. Han har fått fart på maskineriet, Pontus. Så det gäller att Ferry gör jobbet om man ska vara före Pontus. Och som jag sa, det gäller att inte vara för ivrig. Sen är ju sågarna så individuellt gjorda efter de här killarna också, så att ja, små marginaler.
Okay. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Här går det undan. Här går det undan. Ja! 11,92. Ja. Ett personbästa, helt klart Ferry. Mycket bra. Pontus 14,94. Vi ska se vad tiderna blir när de blir korrigerade. Ja, här går det undan. Där rök nog det.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, stand 1 was good. Stand 2, a new national record. Congratulations, both goods are good.
Svan. Och de tog varandra i handen. Ferry snöt rekordet från Pontus. Ja. Sån är... Ja, jag pratar med honom. Han verkar bra.
Down in 4th place with 40.
How impressive was that? And then just talking to Ferry in the interview before, he was like, yeah, I'm not too satisfied yet with what I'm doing. Then personal best, seasonal best, national record.
Yeah, that was the Cheshire Cat grin as he gave us the fist pump there after getting that national record. So that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, Ferry, we want to see more of that. We really enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, of course, Pia is with somebody. You just mentioned it. Emil Hansen is ready to go. He is the youngest in this competition, and he's been doing very, very well so far.
Yes, we're back in Stenkullen, and I'm with Emil Hansen, as you just mentioned. You're the youngest competitor. Do you feel like this is an advantage or a disadvantage?
Yeah, it's fun to compete against the big guys. I feel like I have no pressure on me.
So you don't feel pressure on you?
No, I'm not. I'm here to learn.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And the next discipline, it's Springboard. You've said you've done it twice at competition. At a competition. How do you prepare for it now?
I will just focus on the discipline and try to make a good time.
I'm sure you will. Thank you for the interview and see you back on stage. So back to Munich.
Thanks, Pia. Cool dude, huh?
I like that attitude. I'm here to learn. Doesn't matter if I win the thing. Doesn't matter if I'm top of the podium. I'm here to learn.
I'm in third position, but I'm here to learn.
I'm in third position, but I'm here to learn.
No, I love it.
But I also like the fact that, and this is going to be a tough one for him because doing Springboard twice, you just can't get the kind of experience you need for Springboard.
But why has he only done it twice? Because if you come from the rookies, you don't have the Springboard.
But now the rookies do have Springboard. So, they have the advantage. The new rookies have the advantage. Hey, I'm curious to see who do in the next discipline, the Springboard.
And I'm very curious to take a ride every now and then. And guess what?
Yes.
I'd like to do it in my Ford. Yeah. I always use the time to ask Troy different questions. I've got another one for you.
Okay.
Axe or saw? Is it power? Is it endurance? Is it technique? What makes you a winner?
Yes to all.
I was expecting that, but
yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, power and endurance. We talked about it off the top of the show. In particular, when we saw on the underhand chop in the very first disciplines, where you see the guys really going for it on the first side, and then they come around to the other side, and they lose the endurance, which means they lose the power, and that means the accuracy also starts to disappear. So there are so many things that factor into it, and power and endurance play a role throughout the entire row of disciplines, and you know, obviously accuracy and technique play huge roles as well. So there's a lot going on for these guys at any given time. You know, you've got the mental aspect, you've got the physical aspect, and then there's all that training they do in the off season. And like I said, you know, with Kalle Swadling liking those off season training in CrossFit, that's the perfect crossover sport for a guy who's going to come back and be wielding heavy tools.
So you don't have to decide between axe or saw, you'll go axe and saw.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to be an all-around timber sport athlete, you have to go axe and saw.
And if you want to be on top, there's no other way, right?
There's no other way. Speaking about being on top, we've got the next discipline coming up, which is the springboard. Now that's a whole other level of head and power and endurance and, you know, just your craziness, but we'll get to that shortly.
Oh yeah, because we've got Hans Ove, who's a Swedish legend, and he's standing with Pia, and I'm sure Pia can drop that question to the man who really knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, but first I want to introduce him, because I get to talk to a very special person now. Hans, who is not only team captain of the Timbersport Sweden, but also our expert on site here today. So you're not only leading Timbersport Sweden, you're also organizing the Rookies Academy and you're teaching Timbersports as a class. How do you do that? What does a class look like that?
Yeah, I do timber sport with students at my school, and yeah, it can be everyone. It's girls, it's boys. They start when they are 16, and then we go from there and try to teach them how to be a good person and chop wood, do sawing and everything. So it's a lot of moments, it's a lot of things you need to learn. Yeah. So.
And did a person you were teaching timber sports at school, did one of them become a pro?
Yeah, we have one here tonight, Ferry, and we have also Kalle, we have Pontus. So yeah, 3 guys from my class is here, so that's impressive.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And what would you say does a timber sports athlete need most? Like, there's power, endurance, technique, precision, focus. There's so many things they have to keep in mind. What is the most important one?
Oh, it's difficult to say, but if you mix that together, you will have a good timber sport athlete. Combination of everything, and it takes time to learn. You have to have patience. You need to take one step at a time, and yeah, take it slow and patient. It takes time. Yeah.
So, what's the first thing you teach when you get to teach a newcomer?
To become a good friend, good person, and then you can go from there and teach them wood chopping, because the Steel Timbersport family is amazing. It's a great family. We help each other and so on. It's amazing.
I think you can feel it. If you're on site, you can feel all this energy, and afterwards they are sitting with each other and be like, hey, like real friends. I think that's amazing, because they are competing on stage, but friends behind it. So I think you're doing great at what you're doing. So thank you for the interview. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for being here. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Back to the studio to you, Marcus.
Well, that definitely is my kind of teacher. If I go back to school, I want him as my teacher.
Yeah, let's be friends. Come on, be friends before we learn anything. Best idea ever.
Love it. No, honestly, that's
true.
great. And of course, you need a good school to be able to do the springboard. So let's take a closer look at that discipline. Whoa.
Springboard. Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
På 2 meter så vill du absolut att springboardbrädan ska sitta bra så att du kan tryggt stå på den och sen börja svinga den här 3,5 kilos rakbladsvassa yxan uppe på toppen och hugga av det här 27 centimeter tjocka blocken. En regel, måste hugga 1 hugg från baksidan minst. Allt från framsidan och lite från baksidan.
Okay. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Emil är klar med första fickan. Samuel är klar med första fickan. Nu gäller det att göra en bra ficka där uppe. Emil är klar. Ser ut som att det är en kanonficka. Kommer att hålla alla dagar i veckan. Går längst bak och börjar svinga yxan. Samuel upp på första brädan. Ja. Och det gäller att känna sig trygg där uppe. Jobba på. Och som sagt, göra jobbet på första sidan. Och så här hugger man ju lite mer än vad man gör på standingblocket. Man försöker att hugga sig hela vägen igenom och bara något hugg på baksidan. Nu vänder sig Emil. Ja, och så gäller det att... Jajamän. Här kommer det. Ja. Emil klar. Samuel är på G. Ja. Ser bra ut Samuel. Ser mycket bra ut. Ja. Ja Samuel, jobbar vi på. Kom igen nu. Ja, bra Samuel. Det är det här att våga gå bak. Okej. Som sagt, finns en maxtid för det.
Gentlemen, unfortunately, on this side, we have a DQ because time limit is 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And a good cut here.
Are looming just below him in second and third.
Well, how about that? A 20-year-old showing us some absolutely great skills. Yeah. And like Hans-Ove said, you know, it's about the youngsters, it's about the school, it's about the academy. And we've got a STIHL Timbersports Academy, so take a look at this and enjoy. And if you're a youngster who wants to try out STIHL Timbersports, well, this is where you have to go.
Today we are at Bart Jensen's training camp in Holland, the rookie training camp.
It's a great experience because there are 3 national champions, Hans-Ove Hansen, Christoph Geisler, Martin Komarek. So it's fantastic.
I feel better prepared. It's nice to have 3 champions who we has for the training. Is I think the best way to grow up and to do stronger and better.
The knowledge of the experienced athletes, that's the key how we can move the sport and the new generation forward.
There is a lot of good rookies here today. They are a little bit tensed, they are a little bit nervous, but the level is high. So I'm looking forward to see the competition.
I hope when the athletes go home tomorrow night, they are excited for the next competition. They had some experience this weekend. They learned special things about the wood and equipment, and they feel well for the real big competitions.
Very big talents coming up. We've seen a few of those faces already compete, and oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great talent coming out of the Rookie Academy. There's no doubt about it. One of the nice things about the Rookie Academy is that it gave these guys an opportunity to experience the Springboard, which is the discipline that we're in at the moment. And it's the first time this season that we're seeing the Springboard in the rookie competition. So this is one thing that STIHL is doing in order to allow these timber sport athletes to have that experience on a very difficult discipline early on in their careers. So that's a great thing that these Rookie Academies are doing as well.
Absolutely. And of course, it is a young sport, and many, many youngsters are getting more and more interested in STIHL Timber Sports. So, of course, we have some hashtags for you as well. If you want to join in, just the hashtag STIHL Timber Sports, post pictures, post some texts. Kiss my axe, for instance.
Oh,
that's
my favorite hashtag, kiss my axe.
Yeah. Get some nice pictures of that. Maybe with Troy Mannering or with me. Join us at the competitions. It really is something very, very special. And like you said in Gelsenkirchen, when people were able to try out how things work, because you watch those guys, you watch these athletes, they're experts. And they
make it look easy.
Yeah, 20 seconds. Oh, wow, I'll give it a try. And then it's like, okay, this is
I'm
not
strong.
20
I
seconds.
can do that too. Not.
so it really is top level sports and very, very enjoyable. And of course, the Springboard, that is something extremely difficult. It didn't used to be a competition at the rookies for a good reason.
Yes.
And now we're starting to get the rookies to do it as well. So, oh wow, this sport is improving.
Yeah. Difference between the rookies and the pros: the rookies do 1 board, the pros do 2 boards.
So having said that, I think we're almost ready to go back, but we'll show you the event schedule again because we were going through it very fast before. And here you're going to see the Springboard Heat 2, but that's where we're not heading to yet. The event schedule coming up in just a second.
No event schedule, we've just been told. So, yeah, we're going to get back into the Springboard.
Oh,
we'll give you guys the event schedule again later on. Hopefully, in the meantime, we'll get into Heat number 2 on Springboard. All right. So again, this setup for these guys is everything, you know, making sure that everything is actually
Okay. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Där är de igång. Och som sagt, det gäller att göra en bra ficka. Båda uppe samtidigt. Ja. Ska vi se, vad gör de? 4 hugg. 5 hugg. Här gäller det att veta att man har gjort en bra ficka. Ole Magnus kämpar lite. Ser ut som att Kalle har en mycket bra bräda. Ole Magnus har också ser ut som en mycket bra bräda. Nu gäller det bara att våga gå bak. Full sving på yxan. Ja. Jag får göra jobbet här uppe nu. Och som sagt, man måste hugga minst ett hugg på baksidan. Ja. Och som ni ser så försöker de att jobba sig in så att de har bara lite kvar på baksidan så pass att blocket sitter ihop. Så att de inte behöver ödsla så mycket kraft på baksidan. Kalle vänder sig. Ole Magnus vänder sig. Vem ska ta det här? Kalle tar det. Ole Magnus. Ja, bra. Kom igen nu. Bra vinkel. Jobba på. Jajamän. En till där. Här gäller det, och har man då gjort jobbet på första sidan så jobbar hårt. Nu kommer den. Ja! Upp. Ja, där är det bara att välja. Följa med yxan ner. Eller släppa den. De flesta släpper yxan. Ja, det är bra. En 33. Ska vi se.
Gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Ja. Här kommer Ole Magnus med sin ketchupflaska. Är det ketchup i den där? Ketchup? Ja, visst, det är ketchup. Vad använder du det till?
As we have one more heat to go between Ponta Sky and Ferry Swan, and we'll take a quick look at the overall standings, how they shift about. And yeah, not much change, just in the bottom 3 positions. Ferry Swan, Ponta Sky, and Samuel Hill in 4, 5, and 6.
Well, here we are. What a competition. Only
so far, so good.
One more heat in the Springboard, and that's the big one. That's Pontus Sky taking on Ferry Swan.
Yep.
I'm very sure both of these men want to have a good time to make sure they collect enough points before we move on to the final discipline, the hot saw. So, big stuff coming up. And if you want to get to know, then do this.
Things have changed in the year 2020. We all know that. And welcome to the STIHL Timbersports World Championship.
Hey Timbersports World, it's Matt Slingerland here.
Hi, ich bin Adi Münzenmeier.
I'm Martha King.
G'day, I'm Brad Velez.
Questo è Michał Dubicki.
Ciao a tutti, sono Michael Elping.
Jag som är Ferry Svan.
Hi fans, here's the Robert.
I'm Ryden Moss.
24 years of age. I believe he's still our current world record holder in the underhand chop.
During COVID, I moved to El Paso, Texas, took a travel therapy job, wanted to help out the community.
In this current situation with the COVID-19, I've just spent a lot of time at home, spending time with our newborn baby Grace.
Just doing some stuff around the house, doing bathroom remodel.
Doing hobbies I enjoy, such as steelhead fishing and mushroom foraging.
In der Freizeit, die mir bleibt, versuche ich mehr zu wandern und Zeit zu verbringen mit meiner Familie.
Definite advantage now for Armin Kugler from Austria.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ich hoffe, dass bald wieder vorangeht, dass die Saison starten kann, auch dieses Jahr noch.
We're a strong community and we love our sport, so keep training, stay positive.
Es kann bloß besser werden. Wir halten jetzt alle voll durch.
Still keeping up with some of the training, because eventually when this thing's over, we're going to have a competition sometime.
Hopefully everyone's still training hard and keeping an eye on what we do over the off-season, and hopefully we're up and going as soon as we can.
We're a community. We're in this together.
It is just a fantastic event. The excitement in the audience, the fans absolutely going for it. It is loud as can be in here. The fans are going bananas, and we are going to see some epic competition here.
I want to say I miss you guys. I can't wait till we get to compete against each other again.
Ich hoffe, dass es euch allen gut geht, dass ihr gesund seid, dass eure Familien gesund sind.
Take care of yourselves, but also take care of others.
Stay home, keep training, because I know I am.
Ich freue mich auf euch, auf die Fans, auf die Follower, auf alle, die den Sport begeistern und verfolgen.
Be nice and kind to people as much as you can.
Ich hoffe, ihr bleibt alle gesund und wir können uns demnächst wieder auf einen wunderschönen Wettkampf sehen.
Stay safe and I hope to see you all soon.
Ich wünsche euch alles Gute und wir sehen uns. Bis dann.
Stay safe, be smart, and train a lot because I'm coming for you.
And hopefully we'll have a good year. Cheers.
What an awesome community.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not quite there yet. If you see those pictures from the World Championships in Prague, for instance, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
It'll come back. It's coming back slowly, but I love Lawrence O'Toole's take on it. You better be training because you know I am. Former world champion, you know, he definitely is a guy. He knows what it feels like to lift that world championship trophy up. He wants it back again. So once we get travel around the world back and running, and we can have big competitions like we had in Czech Republic in 2019, then we're going to see some very excited athletes hammering away on the blocks.
Absolutely. And if you look at the national championships that are already arriving, you know, you can see these guys are getting informed. We see a lot of personal bests. We see a lot of seasonal bests. So when they all get together at the World Championship,
better have good wood.
My word.
All right, our next heat up in the Springboard is the final heat before we jump to the hot saw, and that's between Pontus Sky and Ferry Swan. You can see the difference in the times between these two guys, and you could blame it on the size difference between the two guys, but that's not always fair either, because I've seen some big boys get up onto those trees like cats and really do a great job. Ferry Swan has been improving in this event from day to day, so you know he is going to be motivated here for this event as well. And of course, you know, there you see Bart Janssen, our head judge, and one of the men responsible for a lot of what happens out here. He and his judging crew doing a very good job, as well as the guys in Competition Control Center, making sure that everything is absolutely 1/100th of a frame fair for everything they do out there. It's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic.
I don't think there's a lot of fairer competitions than STIHL Timbersport, because everything is recorded and, like you say, down to a thousandth of a second. And they go back to the CCC and take a closer look at decisions, and Perfect.
Yeah, and they can roll it back frame by frame and see if a guy's fingers moved off the block too early or if he hit the block before the timer started. So that's what Bart and his crew are really all about. And not only that, Bart Janssen is responsible for supplying the wood for these events as well. So they'll do a lot of search throughout the year to make sure that they've got fair pieces of wood that are fairly, like ecologically grown and everything, and all of that sawdust and all of that extra little bits and pieces of leftover wood that's lying around, that will get reused. So nothing is wasted from these guys. So they're really efficient about how they use the wood and the kind of wood that they're using for these competitions. So nothing is really just left behind lying around.
That's also always great to hear.
Yes. And there you see Ferry Swan and Pontus Sky setting up their stands and making sure that everything is absolutely correct. Pontus Sky, I believe, is a southpaw, means he'll be hitting from the left side.
And of course, lots of points still to be collected in that last heat.
Yes. In the absolute favorite here, Ferry Swan for sure. He's got the fastest personal best time.
Okay.
What we've seen so far, though, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get it.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
4-hit pocket for Ferry Swan. Really nice board. Wow, look at that. He is cat-like getting on top of that first board. Barely made the thing move at all. Pontus Sky was up there quickly as well. Ferry Swan with another good pocket set on his second one. And I think he's got his board in. This board is the key board right now. Look at how far back he got on that board. And now he gets right to business on that top block. Pontus Sky a little bit slower getting his second board in, but that board looks solid. Now, will he step back out? He will. He's feeling good about it, so now he can get swinging. Ferry Swan with a huge advantage at the moment, though, as he is digging through nice and deep on his first side. Pontus Sky finally getting into business on his, and Ferry Swan's moved to the backside of his. It's not going to be long now before Ferry Swan drops it, and he does in 57.38. So he's a little bit slower than his personal best time, but he's got the fastest time of the day by a bullet. Pontus Sky at 108.910. He's getting deep on the first side, so he should be fine to get through it in the allotted time, but he's all about trying to get through there faster than 122 or 133 if he wants to be in the top 3 in this discipline. A big axe stick for him, so this is where it comes down to those final few blows. And you can see Pontus is tiring. Every blow is painful now, and a little bit of a wiggly axe there as he tries to get through it, and he is past the 140 mark now. And he drops it in 145.14, so that's good enough for 4th place in Springboard, just ahead of Ole Magnus Kjell Bjerget. But Ferry Swan with a 57.28, a blisteringly fast time for today.
Färre under minuten. Det är bra. Mycket bra.
So these guys will move to the middle of the stage there, and we'll get our final thumbs up or thumbs down from our judge.
Gentlemen, both cuts are good.
But Ferry Swan with a season's best 57.28, so that's a nice little notch in his bedpost, and he cut it himself.
And that was very impressive.
Yeah, that first pocket was beautiful. 4 hits, and look at this. Watch this. The board barely moved as he got on, and you know, he was just in perfect position.
That was fantastic.
And there's another nice pocket there. That one's from Pontus Sky. This one sagged a little bit. It looked pretty, but that bottom board isn't as important as the top board in these 2-board competitions.
But it was maybe that his tooth just didn't bite enough?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, the tooth will bite, but if there's nothing below to fulcrum that tooth into the bite position, then, you know, it won't make a difference how sharp the tooth is. And there you can see that last blow from Pontus Sky. Always looking for improvements, these guys are. So taking a look at the Springboard results, Ferry Swan with a season's best. Emil Hansen and Kalle Svadling with personal best in 2 and 3. Pontus Sky in 4th place with Ole Magnus Stylberget and Samuel Hell in 5th and 6th. Samuel Hell, unfortunately, was out of time and therefore DQ'd. And here we have in the overall standings, Ferry Swan up on top with Emil Hansen now in 2nd place and Pontus Sky moving down into 3rd place with Kalle Svadling in 4th. And there you see Stylberget and Hell in 5th and 6th place.
So things are really getting exciting now. There's a lot of points still to be collected at the hot saw.
Yes.
And Kalle Svadling with a personal best and the same amount of points as the number 3 at the moment with Pia. How are you guys doing? Everything ready for the hot saw?
Yes, everything's ready for the hot saw. We're doing great, right? Yes. So I'm here with Kalle Svadling. You've had many ups and highs until now, lows and highs until now in this competition. You've had 2 personal bests, but at the standing block job, you had a moment where you stopped and think and then continue. What has happened?
Yeah, on the standing block, I had a big knot that's come from nowhere. So the axe was stuck, and then when it popped out, it was like a big knot, and I was figuring out if I'm gonna keep going or if I should stop. But yeah, if I stop, I'm disqualified, and if I'm going, I at least have a time. So
you decided for keep going.
Yeah.
Great. And which discipline for future? Which discipline is the one that you want to put most effort and time in when you practice?
Yeah, it should be the chopping disciplines, like all of them. It's the springboard and the standing mostly, but also the underhand.
So you feel more comfortable with sawing than with chopping?
Yeah, the hot saw, stock saw, and single buck at the most. It's the single buck have been my strongest discipline, and the chopping have been a little bit weak. So I have to train more on the chopping.
So now, the last discipline is one of your strengths. So you feel good about it, about turning on the hot saw now?
Yeah, I'm excited, and hopefully it goes well, and but it can also go terrible. I failed many times too, but I've been doing some pretty many good cuts also.
There's a reason why it's the make or the breakup, but I wish you all the best and much luck. So yeah, good luck and keep going.
Thank you.
Back to you guys, to Munich.
Thank you, Pia. And of course, we're going to keep going. And that's why you're the expert, Troy. That's what Kalle said. He had a big knot in the wood. And we were talking about that right at the competition time.
Yeah, I mean, from his perspective, it was easier to see. Obviously, we couldn't see it from here. But when they did a close-up on the block, on the side that we were on, we couldn't really see it. But obviously, it was there. And he was debating with himself. And again, this is that mental aspect, you know, and they try and choose the wood as best they can. I mentioned it earlier that Bart Jansen and his crew, they spend a lot of time sourcing the wood to make sure that it's really perfect. Sometimes there's a knot in it. It happens. But
that's nature.
That's nature. You know, the leaves grow here, the branches grow there. That's what happens. So that's a really important aspect, and that's something that they spend a lot of time on, is getting good wood.
Absolutely, and we can take a closer look how much time is spent and how these experts choose the wood.
Hi, my name's Spike Milton, Global Sports Director for STIHL Timbersports. Today we are in a plantation of young poplar.
One of the biggest challenges that I face as part of my role is to ensure that our competitions are supplied with the highest quality wood. We as STIHL Timbersports pride ourselves that all wood is sustainably grown, harvested and recycled to minimise the overall amount of wood processed. Firstly, this poplar wood is grown on certified plantations. These are fast-growing hybrids which are 100% sustainable. The plantations are predominantly used for the packaging industry, and therefore our trees can be considered as a side product. Secondly, the white pine for our sawing disciplines is only sourced from certified forest management. No matter where the wood is coming from, it is always harvested with minimum impact on the natural environment.
Each individual tree is examined for its conformation before processing. What we are looking for is consistency, which means not just how straight the tree is, but also how uniformly round the wood is. We need to make it fair for all athletes. So we are selecting different sections of the trees to use for each of our specific disciplines. I'm Bart Jensen, Head of Wood Management, and together with Spike, we have a wealth of knowledge and experience with long-term sustainable wood management. With our resistograph, we also measure the density of the wood. That is how hard or soft the wood is and if there are nuts in it. To ensure the quality and high standards required for premium competition wood, we need to have a consistent grain structure with a uniform size, thus providing equal standards for all of our athletes. I don't see any nuts, so this tree is good for me.
Once the trees are felled, extracted and transported to our facilities, we measure, mark and then cut the wood into sized blocks.
Daan Jansen, as a specialist chainsaw operative, I oversee the further processing of our premium competition wood, from the plantation to the stage.
Removing all visible imperfections and knots which could affect the chopping or sawing of the block. We then peel the blocks ready for competition. After careful selection, the blocks then leave our yard and are distributed internationally to our STIHL TIMBERSPORTS competitions, guaranteeing fair competitions for all our pro, intermediate, rookie and women athletes.
After all our STIHL competitions, all the spent wood is collected and recycled right down to the wood chips and sawdust, which, for example, is converted into renewable energy in the form of wood pellets for biomass. Only 2/3 of all organic residues results from competitions. 1/3 is already from wood preparation. In order to achieve a long-term consistent premier wood supply for the coming years, we quest to find certified partners. This ensures that all newly planted trees are nurtured and managed, promoting maximum efficiency and sustainability for the future conservation of our valuable forests.
Therefore, as you can see, with good harvesting practices and good management with silviculture, the ground is quickly replaced by new trees, or could even be used for arable for farmers and future rotations.
Well, there really is not a lot more that you can do to get a fairer competition than what's been done with STIHL TIMBERSPORTS.
Pretty much not. I mean, they really do a fantastic job to make sure that that wood is as perfect as it can be. And the other thing that they do is the athletes aren't just handed a piece of wood. They have to draw. So they have a lottery of all of the wood that is available for any given competition, and they draw from that. So it's random what wood they get for standing block chop, underhand chop, for the hot saw or the stock saw. So it's as fair as it gets. It's definitely not figure skating. No offense to the figure skaters out there, but I mean, it's really it's about as fair as it gets out there for STIHL TIMBERSPORTS with the way this wood is processed and how the athletes receive this wood.
Well, let's take a look at the competition where the wood is used.
Yes.
Here's the schedule for the rest of the year. And of course, all the competitions from 2021 listed up, so you can watch it on Amazon Prime or go online on your national STIHL TIMBERSPORTS website. We're here with the Nordic Pro Championships, as you can see, on the 28th of August. We've still got the British Pro Championship coming up on the next weekend, on Sunday. On the 11th of September, the Swiss Championship. On the 12th of September, the World Trophy European Qualifier. And the big drum roll now for the 2nd of October, Troy, the Individual World Championship. And of course, hallelujah. And hopefully there's going to be many, many nations joining us in Munich. Of course, we do not yet know how traveling is going to be allowed, but we're keeping our fingers crossed and really hoping for the best. And now, it's time for the hot saw.
The maker or the breaker.
The maker or the breaker.
This is the one and only discipline where the athletes are alone on stage.
Yeah, probably the most important event, but yeah, also the most frustrating.
These saws are so incredibly powerful and dangerous.
Usually the hot saw is the slider.
Stand to timber.
Hot saw, hot saw. Like I can't describe to you when we're out there under pressure.
Saw starts well, first disc looks solid, cut is good.
You know, you're always ending the competition on a hot saw, so you know where you're going to be at when you finish. So you're either at a real big high or just is what it is.
Nice clean cuts, easy, relaxed.
Der Hot Saw ist für mich die geilste Disziplin der Welt.
5, 6, 8, Robert Ebner, 3 on the deck.
Hot saw is a love-hate for me. I honestly don't get that much enjoyment out of it. I'm not a motorhead. I swallow my pills and eat it.
Once the competition comes, anything can happen. Oh no, a false start by Sterling Hart. What a disaster.
Yeah, it was a disappointment for me. Happens though, it's part of competing.
I saw there was 3 good discs there, but then let that nose come right up underneath, cross over the line.
Unfortunately, a disqualification.
It all relies on the hot saw.
Oh no.
Irgendwie soll es einfach nicht sein. Und dann springt die Hot Saw an, wieder mal.
Oh man, that is a bummer for Robert Ebner.
What are you taking away from this event?
Oh, probably last place. I don't know, headache. Yeah, shit hot saw. What else do you want?
If you have bad luck or if you did wrong, it's part, just your experience.
Oh my goodness, what an absolute disaster. The chain came off.
I was not disappointed because everybody see that I can be with the guys in front.
It was a bit of a disaster, so it was just operator error, and I didn't perform as well as I would have liked to.
Nice safe cut.
Oh no! Oh no!
You never prepared for that situation, but luckily it started and I got 3 wheels and now I'm the world champion.
Yeah, it's the make or break event, you know.
I think you love it and you hate it.
Das ist eigentlich immer ein geiles Ding. Ich schneide immer sehr sicher.
Weltrekord wollte ich schneiden, das war immer mein Ziel schon seit Jahren. Und das jetzt hier bei der DM zu machen, natürlich so grandios, kann man eigentlich gar nicht besser schreiben, das Buch, und bin natürlich super glücklich.
Try to make 3 good cuts and no disqualification.
The hot saw is where it's all won, so that's the best event.
So many emotional scenes with the hot saw. Try Robert Ebner. We saw him, with tears in his eyes because the hot saw didn't start, but he's going to have tears in his eyes for joy from now on.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of a love-hate relationship, Robert Ebner has battled with the hot saw over the years. I've spoken with him numerous times. At the beginning, it was like, yeah, I'm not such a saw fan when it comes to the stock and the hot saw. Then he became a little bit more comfortable with the whole situation. Then he started to really see the value of having a hot saw, and he created a hot saw of his own. And I mean, the world record was held for a long time by Dirk Brown, a mentor of Robert Ebner's, and Robert Ebner just recently broke that hot saw record, and he is now the new world record holder in hot saw with a time of 4.87. The first guy to drop below 5 seconds. Amazing.
Well, I think we should take a closer look at those monster machines.
Yes.
All you need to know about the hot saw. Boom.
These custom, handmade, race-tuned machines are built for maximum power and precision and to cut the wood as fast as possible in a competition. They are built with a 60 to 80 horsepower single-cylinder 2-stroke engine, often taken from a snowmobile or high-powered motorbike. The hot saw can weigh up to 30 kilograms and its chain rotates at over 250 kilometers an hour. The cost of a competition hot saw used in STIHL Timbersports is upward of 6,000 euros. Hot saw. For the hot saw, power saws are called into action and the athletes have a space of 15 centimeters to cut 3 complete discs off a 46 centimeter thick wooden block. Jumping the start or cutting over the line will result in a disqualification.
Let's jump directly back to the competition. In Heat 1, Samuel Hell will take on Ole Magnus Syliberet. In Heat 2, Kalle Swadling against Pontus Sky. And in Heat 3, the top two, Emil Hansen and Ferry Svan.
And there you see our first heat locked and loaded. Samuel Hill up against Ole Magnus Syliberet. Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Samuel Hill with a hot saw in his hand yet. This will be his first competition where he'll actually get the chance with the hot saw. Okay. So if he can put 3 cookies on the deck, he'll have a personal best by default. Ole Magnus Syliberet has a personal best of 7.73. That is a very, very solid time. So let's see if we can get some really good times out of both of these guys here. Somebody might surprise us today. Let's find out. Difference with the hot saw to the stock saw is that the hot saw needs to be started for the competition, whereas the stock saw is left running.
30 seconds.
And they have a 15 centimeter space as opposed to a 10 centimeter space. And thank God for that too, because these saws are literally, it's a wrestling match in a machine. You've got to pick this saw up, which weighs up to 35 kilograms. It's got an 80 horsepower engine on there. The saw chain is running at about 250 kilometers an hour. So all of that movement, all of that centrifugal force is wanting the saw to do one thing while you want it to do another thing. And then when you put it on the wood, it's going to bite the wood and again want to do another thing on its own. So there's so much going on with this saw. And then again, the saw could not start at all.
That's the best description for hot saw I've ever heard.
1, go!
Ooh. Hell, looking good. He's been practicing this one. Wow, it's going to be a good time for him. A personal best of 8.78, and that is great. Syliberet having trouble there as he got on top, but that saw wasn't really running super clean. I don't know what happened there. Maybe we'll get to see it in the slow motion, but what a great job by Samuel Hell on the hot saw. Obviously, that's something that he's been working on. Oh no, and then we've got a cookie cut out there, so that means it's going to be a disqualification for Ole Magnus Syliberet.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, stand one, it's good. Stand 2, DQ, incomplete disc.
Yeah, there was something that started a little bit strange with Syliberet's cut. He was on the block but wasn't moving anywhere. You could see some disappointment there from the Norwegian as he leaves the stage. But Samuel Hell with an absolutely fantastic first competition cut, an 8.64. So good job by him to actually get himself a not just a personal best, but like a really solid personal best.
Very good. Absolutely.
So let's shake this out here. Yeah, he just went for it. There was no holding back Samuel Hell. And you could see there that Syliberet was really struggling on that first cut. I don't know what happened. Was the saw bogging down, or was there something else going on there? And then he had a little bit of a miscommunication with his saw as he cuts through there, and I think that's where the problem arose. He cut down into that disc, so he had an incomplete disc by virtue of a mistake at the top, and he didn't have a really clean stroke on that final down cut. That is a bummer for Ole Magnus Syliberet. DQ means no points for him, but Samuel Hell with an 8.64 puts himself in a really, really, really good position. If that time holds water for 3 or 4 guys, he could actually move up into the top 4 or 5 positions. Or, excuse me, top 3 or 4 positions. It's going to be a tough job, but if he can get 18 points out of this, he could well jump up in the standings considerably. All right, Kalle Swadling and Pontus Sky, 2 guys that will have no problem wrestling with these saws, a couple of big, strong gentlemen. And again, you could see them also wearing those spiked shoes. They come up on stage with their beach sandals on to protect the spikes from any mishaps on the metal grating floors of the other rooms. In this case, Pontus Sky opts to just put his on stage. And you could see the spikes there. Those are important because, like I was saying earlier, these saws have a lot of moving parts in there. There's a lot of centrifugal force that's playing it. at your arms. And, you know, if you don't have a good, solid set of footing, then you're going to be struggling to find your, you know, your balance point there. So, you know, it's
you're
it's
actually
important.
putting yourself into danger.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely dangerous. Any number of things can happen. I mean, some of the safety equipment that these guys are required to wear are specially designed chainmail chaps, or in this case, I think they're made of carbon fiber now to reduce the weight. So basically bulletproof pants, for lack of a better description. You know, if that chain flies off and hits you in the leg, if you don't have that there, you got a big problem. They also have to wear specially designed glasses that are impact preventing. And the headset specifically, because it gets really, really loud. I mean, right off the bat, when they started those machines, the microphones on stage were just absolutely overloaded with sound. And I mean, those are monster machines that they're playing with out there. So now it's all about testing your cut positions, your grabs, and your starts. The start is the key thing here. Get it started and then get your 3 cuts. Some of these guys, you'll see them standing there and they'll take their fingers in that, you know, you only live once thing to test the distance between the log and where the top handle is. Other guys can eye it, and they just know by looking at it that if it's in the right position.
Ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sky with a good start. Kalle Swadling a little bit slow on the start, but he's catching up, and he's got a good time of 7.79. Pontus Sky with an 8.90. Yeah, good job by both of these guys. So Kalle Swadling with a really, really good time. And believe it or not, Pontus Sky is behind Samuel Hell with the time of 8.90. And those look like they're going to be checkmarked and locked into place. So that means Kalle Swadling with a 7.67.
Both cuts were good.
Is on the top of the hot sauce standings for the moment. And we'll take a look at how that affects the overall standings just shortly. So let's take a look back. Good start by both of them. It was actually Pontus Sky who was on the block faster, but this second cut right here, Kalle Swadling, woof! Look at that. Wow, he was quick up there through that one. And then his third cut was just fantastic. Pontus Sky was a bit slower on that last portion of the cut. Looks like he was shrugging his shoulders instead of using the fulcrum of his handholds to really make that final cut nice and clean. But both of them have 3 cookies on the deck and thumbs up on both sides. So that's important. They've got a time, and that means they'll have some points. So hot saw, Kalle Swadling at the top momentarily was 6.76. Samuel Hell sitting in second place with that 8.64, and Pontus Sky with an 8.86 after readjustment in third place. And if we look at the overall standings, that makes a small adjustment there with Pontus Sky moving into second place, Ferry Swan in third. Kalle Swadling holds on to the top spot for the moment. Samuel Hell, unfortunately, still down in sixth place there. But one more heat to go. Ferry Swan, Emil Hansen coming up next. And this is a big one for Ferry Swan because if he can get a fairly decent time, he doesn't have to be the top time, but he needs to get at least, let's see here, at least 6 points. So that means at the very worst, 5th place, 6th place, and have a time locked in, and he will be defending champion, taking it home again. So basically, he can't afford a DQ at this point. So that means there's probably a lot of pressure on Ferry Swan. But the one thing that we have noticed about Ferry in the last years is that he seems to thrive under these pressure situations. And I think that's probably virtue to a lot of the support that he gets from his mom and his dad, his parents. His mom is in herself a top-notch athlete in skiing, I believe cross-country ski. So she knows everything about this whole psychology of sport when it comes to how to handle these things, and I think she has his ear quite a lot.
And let's not forget, Emil Hansen is only 8 points behind him. So
Emil Hansen has an opportunity here. Oh, those sound like a couple of bumblebees.
18 points for the win, 15 for the second, 12 for the third, and so on. So our maths are going to be...
Yeah, I'm not even going to go there with the maths. That's what computer systems are for. Emil Hansen has been impressive today. I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting that. As the young man is a very high-quality athlete, we know that, absolutely, but I was not expecting the kind of performance that he put in today. So a pleasant surprise to see how well Emil Hansen has performed today. And that means that there is quite a lot of pressure on Ferry Swan at this moment because he has seen how Emil Hansen's been going all day long. All right, the last little bit of preparation to wrap that start cord one more time and get those final positions set.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, good start by Ferry Swan, but he had a bad first cut, so that's going to kill his time already. And even though he had a bad first cut, he still managed to get through an 8:35. That is incredible. So this is obviously Emil Hansen's first or second go in competition with this saw, but he's got 3 cookies on the floor that look complete from my perspective here, but the time is pretty slow. Hopefully there's no DQ for Emil Hansen.
Let's wait for the judges.
Yeah, it looked like Ferry Swan had a cutout at the start and went back and cut himself 3 extra discs. But now, oh, we got lucky there with a quick sneaky thumbs up from Bart Janssen as they checked the line on that 15-centimeter mark.
Okay.
Because we
Ladies
all
and gentlemen,
know that means
both cuts were good.
That we have a new and all Nordic champion.
Yes.
And that is Ferry Swan. Congratulations. What a competition. I mean, getting the second best time here in the hot saw, giving him 79 points in total. So he is the new champion. He is the old champion, but we're in the slow-mos.
Yeah, and there you can see that first cut was a cutout. He recognized it right away. And that's how good he really is. He didn't panic. He didn't freak out. He just went back up to the top and recut 3 inside of 9 seconds. And I mean, that is just absolutely fantastic effort from Ferry Swan. Theoretically speaking as well, Marcus, there's an opportunity that Ferry Swan could have been very close to, 6 seconds there if he had not had that cutout, because the time it takes to recut another cookie is absolutely immense. So good job by Ferry Swan to come back there.
And of course, credits to Emil Hansen, because he will be up on that winner's board with position number 3. But let's take a closer look at the final result of the hot saw. Swadling taking 18 points, Ferry Swan 15, Hell 12, Sky 9, Hansen 6, and of course the DQ that we've seen from our Norwegian friend giving us the final result. And now it's down to you, Troy. The top 3.
So the top 3, Ferry Swan with his 79 points, just 9 points behind him is Kalle Swadling. And with a fantastic event today, Emil Hansen with 62 points in 3rd place. So there's your podium.
Fantastic. STIHL Timbersports Nordic Champion 2021, Ferry Swan. Brilliant stuff from the beginning till the end, keeping his calm. That was the stuff we talked about after the first round, and he really showed us at the hot saw. But just like you said, that could have gone the other way very, very easily.
Yeah, and I mean, it takes a special headspace to be able to see, oh, I just made a major mistake here. What do I do? I panic and run around the stage like a chicken with my head cut off, or do I cut back 3 clean discs? And I mean, the fact that he cut 4 discs actually inside of 9 seconds, so actually under 9 seconds, that's pretty impressive altogether for Ferry Swan. And we saw Emil Hansen, his cuts he struggled through those cuts. There's no 2 ways about it. I mean,
I think especially the start was very slow. Once he got into the groove, he kind of finished it off very nicely.
He's still trying to figure out that hot saw. And I mean, this is another thing that the guys coming out of the rookie, there is nothing to do with hot saw and the rookies at all. So really, they're starting to get into the springboard with the rookies. We're probably not going to see hot saw with the rookies. That's a major investment, and they'll definitely have time to practice. But in a competition setting with that hot saw, it's a different animal altogether. So congratulations to Emil Hansen. I mean, he's going to have third place on the podium today. You know,
what more do you want? He's 20 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's still here for learning. So
yeah.
Wow. Absolutely.
And you know, his dad, Hans-Ove Hansen, is going to be proud as punch that his son is out there competing.
He should be.
He got a bronze medal today. So that's a great job. I mean, you got to give big kudos to the young man there.
And I think this is our chance to go directly to the prize-giving ceremony. Pia, over to you guys. Let's celebrate these absolute champions.
Yes, let's celebrate. Thank you, Marcus. We are more than good over here. We feel amazing. The hype is still up very high. And now, well, these have been 3 thrilling rounds, 3 very fast rounds. But now the moment has come. All the 6 athletes have been waiting for the award ceremony. So I'm starting with the 6th place. On the 6th place, with 33 points, is Samuel Hell. So I guess we still have to wait a little bit for the athletes to come. They have to put on some jackets because it's pretty cold here. I understand that. Well, it's been a pretty nice competition. I think it was amazing. And I hope you have the same opinion, but I hope you're a bit warmer than we are here. And yes, well, the athletes, they are getting clothed up and putting on warm things, and I can already see some of them. They are coming. Oh yes, and I can hear the music as well, so... In third place, with astonishing 62 points, it's the youngest competitor at the competition. It's Emil Hansen. Who is coming in just a second. Who is already here? Yes, please step on it. Step on the podium. So let's continue with the second position with a great performance and fantastic 70 points. I'd like to please Carlos Wadling onto stage. And you can see him running onto the podium. The joy is big. Now, national champion 2021 of the Nordic Pro Championship with a sum of 79 points, and therefore in first place is Ferry Swan. Congratulations. you can see they are receiving their medals, which are very beautiful. And now, in honor of Ferry Swan, the winner, we are gonna hear the national anthem of Sweden. Could I have you for an interview? Yep. Perfect, thank you. So, Ferry, may I ask, did you expect to become national champion today?
Yes, today the goal was to defend the title, and I did, so I'm very, very happy with that.
And what is going on inside your head right now? Like, can you describe your emotions, your feelings?
It's a huge relief that I did it once again, and I will continue training and hoping that the ranking will say that I can go to the World Championship.
And is there anything else you want to tell the world out there?
Yes, thanks for sharing on us, and you're an amazing crowd. I know that we will have a crowd soon, and I'm waiting for you. Thank you.
Amazing. Congratulations again. And I wish you all the best. So that's it for today from St. Kullen. I thank you for joining in here in St. Kullen at the headquarters of STIHL Norden as well. And I wish you a beautiful rest of the day or rest of the night, wherever you're tuning in from. And I hope we will see each other at the next competition next week. So, one last time back to the studio to you, Marcus and Troy.
Well, thanks very much, Pia. Great job by these absolute gentlemen there in Sweden.
Yep.
Really have to say, chapeau, you know.
Chapeau.
Yes.
That was a fantastic competition. I had a lot of fun doing that one as well. And a couple of good surprises in there too. I liked it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And Ferry Swan talking about the World Championships. Let's take a look at the rankings.
Yes.
To see how good he is in the race. Well, it should work out, shouldn't it?
Hello, it'll be okay for him. Robert Ebner right up there as well, though.
So that's going to be a great competition. Make sure to join us on the 2nd of October. That's one of those things that I'm very much looking forward to. Ferry Swan, the new and old STIHL Timbersports Nordic champion.
Yes.
And very well deserved. So I think we can say goodbye with a very good feeling, having seen that competition.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was a good job, especially a good job by Emil Hansen to end up on 3rd place on the podium against a very solid group of competitors.
Really enjoyed that. Thanks very much for joining us, Troy. And for you guys back home, here are the highlights of the day. See you soon and keep on rocking.